My name is Jim Casey, and I'm President and CEO of Integrated Wealth Management. I wake up every day and realize how lucky I am and how fortunate I am to love doing what I do. And unfortunately, throughout the course of my life, I've seen others who were not so fortunate, and it's natural. It's natural for me to realize the good fortune that's been placed on me, and that it's not an option, but a requirement to give back. I think, you look at celebrities and people talk about those celebrities who should be doing more, who could be doing more, or anybody who you think. And I don't think you can put that on anybody. I mean, philanthropy and giving back has to come from the heart and the soul, not from the wallet. And there are a lot of people who do so much more than I do. And again, not on the monetary side, but volunteerism and creativity. And I think the biggest philanthropists are the people who work at the non-for-profits that are supporting all the people that need their help, because that's a lot of work. And God knows no one's in it for the money. They're in it because they want to continue to give back. So I think those individuals, the David Brinkmans of the world, the Desert AIDS Project, and his team, and so many of the other teams, really should be applauded. For me, it comes from the personal core. As a gay man coming out right at the time when HIV and AIDS was, actually there was no term for it when I first came out. And it was a time of realization that I was a gay man. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I realized it, I was afraid to admit it, because the thought process was, you were gay, you got sick, you died. And I had a lot of friends who unfortunately didn't make it. And for me, all but for the grace of God, to be here today and still be healthy and again, having to say goodbye to so many people, that's obviously HIV and AIDS, and awareness is something that I'm still passionate about. And to having been there at the beginning of it, and seeing now that so many people say that we don't need to support HIV and AIDS is ridiculous, because while it's here and it might not be a death sentence, it's a really serious disease still today. And on the other side is, the arts. And one of my other big passions is the arts. And I do have a production company on the side. And I don't want to say on the side, it makes it less than it is. But I've always been involved in the arts through college, through high school. And I realized I wasn't talented enough to take the arts as a career. And I see the people, and I see the struggle, and I see the passion that they're in. So those two really just affected me most of my life. Wow, it would be a whole different place, number one. I mean, this, to me, having a home in Los Angeles and having a business in the Hollywood community and in Beverly Hills, where you also still have a lot of people who are very philanthropic, as much as I love it there, this is a place like nowhere I've ever been before. And when we came to town, my partner and I came to town, the welcoming was ridiculous. And I was like, I just liked it because it was 2 hours away from LA, and you could buy a house for a lot less money than you could in LA. And it was never meant to be anything of a community. We came here as a little weekend getaway, but we were so welcome that like we've never been before in the 20-something years we were living in LA. And I think a lot of it is because of the people who are here and the philanthropic nature that they have, because it's a community. It's a small community of very wonderful people who want to keep it a community. And so I don't think it would be the same. There was an individual who was working for me, not at Integrated Wealth Management, just on my personal side. And we had met. I had to drop off something to him. And I had gotten to know him a little bit, but he just stopped. He said, before you go away, I want to say something. He goes, I know what you do with Desert AIDS Project and the Steve Chase Awards. And he goes, I just want to say that if you didn't, I wouldn't be alive today. And that was just hanging out of my car, just dropping him off something. And it was that. So you do this big thing, the Steve Chase Awards with 1,600 people and the stars and all of that comes in, but that one person says that to you and you realize that you made a difference. I don't like to think of myself as a leader. I like to think of myself as more of a motivator. You can't be a part of Integrated Wealth Management without understanding what's at the core If I'm at the core of integrated wealth management, philanthropy is at the core of Jim Casey. You have to be part of that. And I'm always incredibly proud for every one of the staff of integrated wealth management who wants to come to every event that we go to and that we do and that we sponsor, and that they're not getting paid for it. They could, go to the movies and go have a beer at the bar, whatever they want to do, but they want to come to any event, big, small, or medium. And that to me is miraculous. And I don't know how that happened, how lucky I got, but it's got to be part of the mission of integrated wealth management. I've gotten so much more back than I've given. It gives me a reason to get up in the morning every day to know that something is going to happen that you can. I always say, a better tomorrow starts today. And make the commitment today to make tomorrow better. Maybe not for you, maybe for somebody else, but by making it better for somebody else, you're making it better for you. For one of my New York-based foundation clients of integrated wealth management, we manage their endowment. And I go in every quarter to present the endowment, the investment findings to the board, and talk about what we're doing with their money, et cetera, et cetera. And the last time that I went in, when riding the elevator up, and they're on the top floor of this beautiful Manhattan office building, and all of a sudden, all these kids get in with me and one of the trustees. And she turns to them and say, "Oh, you're the kids that are coming to our board meeting today." And they all said yes. And I forgot, honestly, the name of the organization, but they are the only student-founded and ran non-for-profit in the country. They cannot fundraise with their parents. They can only fundraise with their peers. They shadowed the board meeting so that they could see what a national board looks like. The children of they were juniors, sophomores, juniors, and seniors of a high school. It's their board. There's no parent involvement whatsoever. And they write the grants. They apply for the grants. They put the money out there. And it was amazing for me. We literally sat at the board meeting table, the trustees and myself on one side and them on the other side. And it was amazing to kind of watch what the future of philanthropy was there. They were so well articulated and they wanted to do it. And I say this all the time. I grew up with no money. My father was a mailman, my mother was a housekeeper and for our house. And I'm thrilled that I had no money, because that made me want to have more. It made me appreciate everything that I have. And I think what we have to do for this generation, I'm big with financial literacy, teach children about money now and teach them the power of money and what good money can do. And that's when they're going to start realizing that on everything, there's no entitlement in this world. And that's where they have to give back. The more that I can do, the happier that I am. So we're just going to keep forging ahead with integrated wealth management and Kim and Jim Productions, and on both sides continue to give back to the community.